Shalom. Shalom and welcome. This is Extinction Protocols, preparing for transitions. And I invite you to consider 1 Corinthians 15:50 and 1 John 3:2. This is a series of messages to those who would be and who are among the true olive trees, true Yasharal, commonly known as Israel, and golden lampstands, of whom I believe will also be reflective of the multitude mentioned in Revelations chapter 7. True olive trees, the 144,000, and golden lampstands representing the multitude. This is a series of messages to those who seek to do the will of the Almighty Father Yahuwah, who have come to discover that it is Yahusha that is our Messiah, our Mashiach, and that no man can come unto the Father except through Yahusha, our Messiah. Today is May 16th. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Symmanayah, and this segment of Extinction Protocol is entitled Choose a Side. Choose a side. Allow me to begin as I do with each segment by defining the word protocol. It is a system of rules that explain the correct conduct and procedures to be followed in formal situations. This series will prove to reflect necessary protocols as they relate to man's extinction, or it could be worded as a time of transition. It is specifically relative to our preparedness during these end times. Allow me to read Matthew 12:25. And Yahusha knew their thoughts and said to them, every reign divided against itself is laid waste, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Mark 3:24 reads, and if a reign is divided against itself, that reign is unable to stand. My brothers, I submit to you, our final exodus will demonstrate and prove that we will be refined and brought into a unified group to represent the fulfillment of the 144,000 and multitude as described in scriptures. Let me continue on with some more verses. Luke 12:51 through 53 reads, do you think I came to give peace on earth? I say to you, no, but rather division. For from now on, 5 in one house shall be divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. Father shall be divided against son, and son against father, mother against daughter, and daughter against mother, and mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Matthew 22:29 reads, and Yahusha answered and said to them, you go astray, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of Elohim. My brothers and sisters, righteousness, being set apart, will cause us to be divided from those who are wicked and evil. It will cause us to be purged from among wickedness, or it will cause wickedness to be purged from us. Pray, my brothers and sisters, all covenants made by the Almighty Father to bring about fulfillment of his word will come to be. Matthew 22:29 reads, and Yahusha answered and said to him, you go astray, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of Elohim. So here we see that we are pressed to not only know the scriptures, but also be mindful of the power of Elohim. Mark 13:5 and 6 says, and Yahusha began to say to them, take heed that no one leads you astray, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am he, and they shall lead many astray. 1 Corinthians 15:33 reads, do not be led astray. Evil company corrupts good habits. My brothers and sisters, given what I just read, given what I just said, it is clear that something or someone will be the catalyst that will prompt division. There will be times we will find ourselves continually challenged to choose a side. Currently, many of us waver from one group to another in our teachings, in our practices, and more, in our accepting of and tolerating compromising beliefs, teachings, and practice. Many of us waver, and these behaviors, whether we know it or not, are erroneous and rebellious. My brothers and sisters, it's time to realize such actions that allow for compromising teachings and practices and beliefs to be among us is not being humbled, and it does not reflect being humbled and loving. On the contrary, it reflects being passive, weak, and rebellious to the orders that are presented to us to come away from such wicked ways or purge them from our presence. The righteous reign of Yahushua will not be passive, nor will it be tolerant of compromising spirits moving wild and rampant among those who will be gathered for the final exodus. End time will prove to be a time of refining and perfecting. It will be a time of tough decisions, handling hard choices. But the children of obedience will determine from the Spirit of Yahushua which direction to go, whom to hear, whom to listen. What is your position on this matter? There can be no division without pain. There can be no unity without purging the wicked from among us as led, keywords, as led by the Spirit of Yahushua. We will witness righteous actions with orders that will cause a divide to come, that will cause us to be set apart. Those who will be able to discern and understand and carry out the orders from the Spirit of our living Messiah will experience such. End times will prove to bring pain and tears, but it will also bring much praise as we watch all that is written unfold before our eyes regarding our final exodus and more. Comfort will come in discerning and understanding what must and will be done. My brothers and sisters, consider a story that I've referenced in times past and know that we will not always get another chance to get things right. Those who rebelled in Numbers 16 chapter did not get another chance at getting it right. Allow me to read that passage once again, as I have read in times past. Numbers 16, 23 through 33 reads as follows. Numbers 16:23 through 16:33 reads as follows. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, or Moses, saying, Speak to the congregation, saying, Move away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. So Moshe rose up and went to Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Yasharal followed him. And he spoke to the congregation, saying, Please turn away from the tents of these wrong men. Do not touch whatever belongs to them, lest you be consumed in all their sins. Then they moved away from around the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood at the door of their tents with their wives and their sons and their little children. Notice here in the 27th verse of the 16th chapter, a separation, a division took place. Moving further, verse 28 through 33. And Moshe said, By this you know that Yahuwah has sent me to do all these works, that they are not from my own heart. If these die as all men do, or if they are visited as all men are visited, then Yahuwah has not sent me. But if Yahuwah creates what is unheard of, and the earth opens its mouth and swallows them up with all that belongs to them, and they go down alive into the grave, then you shall know that these men have scorned Yahuwah. And it came to be, as he ended speaking all these words, that the ground under them split apart. Split apart, my brothers and sisters. This is a sign of division. And the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up, and with their households, and all the men with Korah with all their goods. So they and all those with them went down alive into the grave, and the earth closed over them, and they perished from the midst of the assembly. I submit to you, my brothers and sisters, so as the Most High purged and caused division, and brought forth proof whom he was guiding and leading, and proof of his orders, so we witness a division taking place. So we witness where the company was brought before the Most High and had to choose a side. And we see those who chose a side of rebellion destroyed at the hand of the Almighty Father. So will we witness examples similar to this and much worse in the coming days. Let us pray and seek to discern the words of the Most High. Let us be mindful, my brothers and sisters. End times bring us to a close in the chapter of life as we know it in these earthen vessels. End time prophecies describes the most trying times for our survival, and with these prophecies are expectations that we will witness the return of our Messiah, Yahushua return. As we are refined and begin to gather in numbers, we will witness countless occasions where we will and must choose a side. Are you ready for the challenge? Are you aware with each passing moment we face choosing a side? Believe it or not, yes, every step we take is reflective of making a choice, deciding what moves to make. There will be times where we will choose a side from the smallest of decisions, and there will be times when we will face something of a greater magnitude and must choose a side. We must choose a side that will prove to have a much larger impact on our lives and the lives of others. It will be wise to pray, study, pray some more, and seek with an earnest mind, body, and soul to worship and obey what the Almighty Father is saying through His set-apart Spirit sent in Yahushua's name. It will be wise to face the realities that the Almighty Father Yahuwah sent His set-apart Spirit in Yahushua's name to teach us, guide us, as well as bring things to remembrance. The time will come where each one of us individually must choose a side. I submit to you that time is now. Are you prayed up? Are you studied up? Have you prepared for such a time as this? Who is able to discern the discipline that will be used to bring us into obedience to the Most High Father? Who is able to discern, understand, and respond regarding the possible fate of our decisions when we are faced with the action to choose a side? Hindsight could be a dangerous thing. We will not always have a second chance to get it right. Pray and watch, my brothers and sisters, for some will make life or death decisions. Some of us will face that unaware, but it will not stop what is to unfold. Extreme conditions are coming. A sense of urgency will enlarge among the ranks of those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. I pray that each of us are able to endure until the very end. For what's over the horizon, it will continue to prove to be complex, and it will severely challenge each of us as we press closer to the time of our final exodus and the return of our Messiah. It will be wise to do all that is necessary to grow in understanding the true function of discernment. For one day we will come to discover we must and will face a time where we must choose a side and realize the opportunity to change our minds will pass. A storm is coming, my brothers and sisters. It will intensify with each passing moment. Choose wisely whom you will serve. Seek earnestly to discern and understand what must and will be done. Keep in mind those who will be among the ranks of the 144,000 of true olive trees and golden lampstands. We are being refined. Remember, humbling times are coming, of which we will be faced with the challenge to choose a side. It will be a life or death decision that will affect many of us and the lives of others. There will be righteous guidance. There is righteous guidance and leadership among us as made present and possible by the Spirit of Yahushua, our Messiah. Humbling conditions and events will prove these words to be true. Let us take heed to living instructions, guidance, and warning. Let us realize we cannot escape that we will face a time to choose a side. I submit to you that time is now. It is ever so continuous with each passing breath. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, stay tuned as more instructions and warnings will follow with this series entitled Extinction Protocols, Preparing for Transitions. Shalom, shalom, shalom.